most interviewed people on CadenCenter. I mean, wow, you look at the big names. There have been Angels, Jason Grilly's been on CadenCenter, Justin Kemp, man about town here with the Ontario Reign. You've had players on, you've had the Reign captain on. I am touched, but you know it's really not about me. It is about you. The fact that you've got one of the most prolific sports shows in the Inland Empire, let alone the United States, let alone Redlands. And speaking of Redlands, now that Redlands East Valley has won the state championship in football, my question now for you is, do you plan on announcing for the Wildcats down the road, or maybe you lean towards the Redlands Terriers, or maybe you're a Citrus Valley kind of guy? What is your favorite school, and who would you like to announce for later on?
Probably Red.
Rev, okay, it's all about the Wildcats. You got to go with the champion. That's why I love this man, by the way. I have one more question for CadenCenter. When it comes to the topic of girls, are you for or are you against?
Against.
That's the right call, okay? He's a smart cookie.
Alright, are you ready for some questions?
I'm ready for some real questions.
So you recently announced your wife will be joining you in San Jose and making your move official.
Yes.
Will we still be seeing you at Reign and Fury games?
Yes, you'll still be seeing me at Reign and Fury games. I still have so much fun coming down. And as long as the fans want me, I will continue to keep coming down. And if they want to pay for some airline flights, that's even better. And I assure you I'll come down for those games.
Nice. How do you like working for Mix 106.5?
You know, I love the radio station. Having so much fun in San Jose. It's just the fans up there have kind of adopted me as my own, much like I would adopt you as a son. Oh, did I put that on tape? I'm sorry, honey. My wife may be watching this. But no, it's a lot of fun up there. Weather's great in San Jose. The one problem with San Jose, they have a garbage hockey team. But we try to make do with all that. So it's still a lot of fun up there, Kate.
I agree.
Thank you.
Do you ever make mistakes on air? And if you do, how do you cover it up?
As soon as I make my first mistake on the air, I'll let you know. I have absolutely no idea. I've never made one. I don't know. Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. Anytime you make a mistake, if you actually are honest and upfront and say, you know what, that wasn't Michael Jackson, that was Huey Lewis in the News, that was my mistake, then you have to cover it up. As long as you are honest, Kate, and on one day when you do make a mistake, and I don't know if it'll happen by the time you're in high school or maybe in college, I'm sure you'll own up to it and just be a bigger man.
Who is your favorite singer or group you have met this past year and why?
My favorite singer or group, I would say my favorite singer is Ed Sheeran, because he is just real honest with his fans. And this is a true story as I look out the camera. We had a backstage meet and greet, and not only did he come out with a guitar and perform for 20 of our listeners at Mix 106.5, he even took selfies. I mean, because most artists don't like that. They don't like the line being slow because everyone is doing this. So he just grabbed the mic. Here, let me show you how to do a selfie. Big smile, Caden. Snap. So he was actually very cool. Smooth voice. I would say he's one of my favorite artists. But my most favorite person who's ever held a microphone, there can only be one. Caden Henderson. Round of applause for Caden Henderson.
What will you miss about living in Southern California?
Your mom. I'm kidding. No, obviously being here all the time, I'm gonna miss the great winters. It's great down here. I'm not gonna miss the smog from the Inland Empire, that's for sure. But I'm gonna miss seeing you as often as I used to see you. You and I bonded. I remember you when you were this tall. Actually, you are that tall. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss seeing you grow up. But I'll still come down as often as I can, Kate.
All right, let's talk about sports for a minute.
All right.
Who's your favorite Reign player this year and why?
My favorite Reign player this year and why? Honestly, I've always loved Derek Couture. He's a guy who can score. He's a guy that can throw off the gloves, drop the gloves and fight. I know you're a pacifist. You don't like fighting. You like to talk your way out of situations, and that's good. But every now and then, you got to get dirty, and you got to show who's boss, and he's my kind of guy.
Nice. How about your favorite Ontario Fury soccer player?
Oh, my favorite Ontario Fury soccer player is number 10, Tiquinho. He is so cool with the fans. He will score goals. He'll run into the crowd. He'll shake hands. He's just a cool guy. He's out with the community. He's a very special player, and that's the one thing I like about the Fury. They have guys that are really good in the community, and when you really get big, because I know you're big right now, Kate, when you really get big and you start doing things for the community, much like I do for the Humane Society of San Bernardino Valley, then your volunteer work really pays dividends, so that's a big thing.
Nice. Did you play sports growing up, and which ones?
Yes, I did. Well, because I used to be as small as you, so I could only play bowling and maybe checkers, but I loved playing tackle football, I don't know if your mama lets you play tackle football in the park. No?
No.
It leads to concussions. It's always bad. I played foot hockey as a kid. I was a pretty good bowler at the time, but I realized if you're going to be a bowler your whole life, the girls aren't going to look in your direction, so I had to get away from that. But now, yeah, I still play ice hockey. These rock hard abs that your mom always looks at, it's not from that being natural. It actually comes from hockey. So that's my favorite sport right now, ice hockey.
At your last CadenCenter appearance, you mentioned playing fantasy baseball. How did your fantasy baseball team do this year?
Let's not even mention the fantasy baseball team. It was a debacle. You know how the Oakland Raiders are in football?
Yes.
Yeah, my fantasy baseball team was just as bad, but not as violent. It was very horrific. My fantasy football team did very well. Thank you very much. But the baseball, that's all bad. We still talked about Andrew McCutcheon. I still had him on my team. He was the only good guy I had, Caden. The only good guy.
All right, thank you for the interview, Jeff.
Anytime. And once again, if you're a fan of Caden Henderson, as I am, you have to be a follower on YouTube. It's CadenCenter. CadenCenter.com, and ask for Caden by name.